Let's go ahead and officially get started with Stretch with the Leader today. We have Michael Hancock here with us from Castell. And Michael, will you tell us a little bit about your role, and then you can jump into your Live Well moment?
Yeah, you bet, Cami. Appreciate the opportunity to be here. Again, my name is Mike Hancock. I work as the Executive Director over Operations Transformation for Castell. That probably doesn't help you at all in understanding who I am and what I do. So Castell is Intermountain Health Population Health Services organization, started about 4 years ago. Fully owned entity of Intermountain, and what we do is we really help different parts of the organization implement and strategize about value-based care and how they might be able to implement and create a strategy around that. So in my role, I help to operationalize those strategies, whether it's through adjusting practices, kind of maybe supporting you in your business planning, helping you understand what type of people or resources you might need to be able to make it happen. So my background is in the medical group operations. I've been with Intermountain for about 10 years now. Just celebrated my 10-year anniversary. My Live Well moment today, I wanted to just take a minute to talk a little bit about living well through, I'm going to make up my own Live Well dimension here, and it's living well through changing your surroundings. And so what I mean by that, when I was a kid, my wife and I laugh about this all the time because we were really similar as kids. When we were kids, we really liked to change our rooms around. So we didn't have very much furniture in our respective rooms, but when we got married, we would talk about how, when I was a kid, just because I wanted to, I changed my bed around, or I'd move, my nightstand to a different place, or I would, move the dresser over to a different part of the room. And she used to always do that too. And we were joking, we would just laugh about, like, why would you do that as a kid? And I think we just liked the new surroundings. We felt kind of refreshed and renewed being in a new spot. It kind of kept things lively and interesting. And I personally always thought, like, oh man, this is a new room, it's a new me, like fresh start. It was just always fun to kind of have a new room set up like that. So I think about that, and I think about in my particular role, I've been, I'm a flex work worker. And I've been working from home for about 3 years now. And there are days when I spend every waking hour inside my house. I've had some situations, especially in the winter, where I've had consecutive days where I never even stepped foot outside my home. And that can wear on you. I think that it can get to the point where that's a really big adjustment, especially if you've worked in other settings and have been moving around, where you moved around throughout the day. So I had an experience a couple weeks ago where I just had a difficult morning. A lot of the conversations that I'd had at work were kind of frustrating. We'd hit some roadblocks on some projects that I've been working on. And about in the midday, I just said, I'm going to hop on my bike and just take like a 20-minute bike ride. And it was a quick one. I had a break in the morning where I could do that. And I just went and I blew off some steam. It wasn't a long ride, but I was surprised at how well that made me feel, just having a change of scenery for 20 minutes or so. And I came back, I felt totally refreshed. I felt just ready to go and tackle the last half of the day. And I really had gotten those frustrations from the morning out of my mind. So I think that that's something that we all can do. I think that we can allow ourselves and invite others that we work with to take, create a change of scenery throughout the day. Maybe that's getting out and walking during a break. Maybe it's having lunch outside. Maybe it's just getting out of your home, or if you work from home, it might be, setting up your laptop for the afternoon in a different part of your home to get a little change of scenery. But I think if we make an intentional effort around that, we can really change our scenery and feel refreshed and renewed. In addition to that, one thing that we do as a family to feel refreshed and renewed is through traveling and seeing things through a different lens. That traveling doesn't need to be far. I think it can be, going into the city if that change of scenery helps for you, going to a nearby park, going to the other side of the world if you have the means, and if that's what you really want to do, or even a road trip a few hours down the road. Those are all changes in scenery that I think can really help us feel refreshed and renewed. So I think my invitation to everyone is to take the time to get out and experience new places, gain an appreciation for diverse people, landscapes, cultures. And I think it'll really open your eyes to the beauties around you, improve your gratitude, and really help you feel refreshed and renewed. So little did I know I was learning that lesson as a 12-year-old as I was moving my bedroom around. But I think that there's wisdom in getting out and refreshing your mind and changing your scenery up a little bit. So it's my live well thought for today, Cami. Back to you.
Thanks so much, Mike. I agree with you that sometimes we get stuck in that monotony of our daily lives and just need to break it up a little bit. And like you mentioned, be curious about the world we live in, and even if it's just like down the street, a park that you haven't been to. So thank you. I love your new live well dimension that you added. Okay, we are going to move on to the stretch portion today. Mike, you can keep camera off, turn it on, whatever you want to do. Whatever you're comfortable with. There is no pressure at all. Okay, let's hop up and move a little bit. Break up the monotony of our workday. Okay, start with feet about hip width apart. We're just going to start with a few deep breaths. So just take a big inhale, reach your arms to the sky. And then exhale, release arms. Let's do it again. Inhale up. This time do a partway fold, hands to thighs, little hinge. And one more time, inhale up. And exhale, fold a little bit further this time. Then go ahead and stand up. Take feet together. We're going to step the left leg back. And then take your left hand and just push it to your right and do a twist. Come back to the center, step forward, switch sides. Right foot goes back. Right hand pushes and twists. We're going to alternate that a few more times. Push and twist. And as we move through these stretches, just make sure that you're listening to your body. Don't do anything that hurts. I mean, stretching can be a little uncomfortable, but don't try and push through anything. Okay, come back to the center. Go ahead and take your right ear towards your right shoulder. And then with your left shoulder, do some reverse shoulder rolls, just with the left shoulder. And then bring the chin through the chest, and then left ear goes to left shoulder. And now right shoulder does some reverse circles. Bring the chin back to your chest and then lift the head up. Okay, we're going to take hands behind your back and go ahead and interlace your fingers. So fingers are interlaced, then we're going to take our hands over towards your right hip. Okay, so knuckles are pointing forward. Make sure knees are soft. Roll shoulders down and back. And now take your right ear towards your right shoulder. Let your left shoulder really relax here. And then from here, we'll do some chin turns. Just noticing the stretch. And then if you want, you can do chin up and down. So adding on whatever movement to that ear to shoulder that you would like. All right, go ahead. Head comes back to the center. Switch hands. So now knuckles are on the left hip. And then take left ear to left shoulder. Notice if this side feels any different than the other side, and then you can start to do those head turns, chin up and down if you want. And then bring the head back to the center and release the hands and shake them out a little bit. All right, take a big inhale, arms go wide. And then left arm's gonna come across your body, right hand scoops underneath and just pull that arm across. Take a big breath. And then we're gonna do ear to shoulder on the right side. A little extra neck and shoulders today. Big inhale, arms go wide. Exhale, other side. Pull the arm across the body, relax the shoulder, and then take left ear to left shoulder. Big inhale and exhale. And then release the arms. Couple more shoulder rolls here. And then take left arm to the sky with a big side stretch. Reach up and over. Come back to the center. We're going to repeat that on the same side a couple times. Big side stretch. Let's do 2 more on this side. And on our last one, we're going to hold it. So on this one, hold it to the side. Start to pull the elbow back and maybe look up under your arm a little bit. And then release the arm down to your side. Okay, let's do the other side. So right hand up, reach up and over, big side stretch. Back to the center. We'll do that 3 more times on this side. Notice if this side feels any different than the other side. Reach up and over and hold this time. And then send your gaze up under your arm. Maybe pull the elbow back a little bit. And then release. Okay, shake the arms out. Let's work on our legs just a little bit. All they've been doing is standing, right? So let's do a little bit more on the legs. So go ahead and take your left leg, step it back. Toes can turn out a little bit. And then we're gonna shift our weight back as you lift your front toes. Hands can come to the left thigh. Really flex those front toes up. Send your hips back. Think about pushing your sit bones back towards the wall behind you, so it's almost kind of a dragging feeling, so you really feel your hamstring in the front leg. Okay, we're going to plant the front foot. Left leg goes back into a lunge, so we're up on the back toes now. And if you'd like, you can keep hands on your thigh or bring your hands to your hips, and then find your pelvis moving back. So we're going to tuck our tailbone under just a bit till you get a nice hip flexor stretch. Hip flexors get really tight when we sit all the time. Well, everything does, right? Hip flexors get extra tight. Okay, go ahead and step forward. Let's switch up those legs. Right leg goes back. Front toes lift up. Go ahead and sit your hips back. Really flex the foot. And then think about sending your sit bones way back towards the back wall until you really feel the hamstring in the front leg. We're going to move into our lunge position now. So plant the front foot, right leg goes back up on the toes. You can use your hands to support you or lift your spine up and bring your hands to your hips for a little deeper stretch. Then go ahead and tuck, excuse me, the tailbone under until you feel more length in the right hip flexor, the front of your right hip. And take a breath. All right, go ahead and step feet back together. Oh, about narrow hip width apart. Let's take a big inhale, reach to the sky. And exhale, do your forward fold so hands are on your thighs. So knees are soft here. Shoulders are moving down. And then just start to sway the hips side to side. Just noticing where you feel the movement at, where you feel the stretch at. And then start to fold forward a little further. And then release your arms towards the floor and let your head just hang. Let your arms hang, let your head hang. Maybe even shake your head. Yes and no positions. Let gravity pull down on your upper spine and your neck. Take a big breath. And then use your hands to walk yourself slowly all the way back to standing. And come all the way up. Big inhale, reach the arms up. Grab the left wrist, pull over. Exhale, release the arms. Let's do it again on the other side. Reach up, grab the wrist, pull over. And release the arms. All right, you guys, you're all done. Thanks for joining today.